In this video, we are going to find the users who started as viewers and then turned as streamers. Hello, I am Jagan from Grow with Data. I am posting this video to share my knowledge in SQL with you. If this assists you in interview preparation anyways, I will be happy. Let's see the data set and we can talk about the questions in detail. We are given a table called sessions. It got user ID, the session start and end date, and the session ID and the session type. So what we have to find is, we have to find the users who started as viewers and become a streamer. Get those users and the total sessions as streamers. It's like you started as Grow with Data's viewer and get confidence that if Jagan himself can do videos, why can't I create a content? And you became a content creator. Same way, the user, his first session has to be as a viewer. Then he becomes a streamer. That means in this given data set, you see the first session is for 101, we have 3 sessions. The first one is on 11/6, the second one is on 11/20, and third one is in 11/22. So the first session, the session type is as a viewer, and the second and the third are streamers. And if you see 102, he got 2 sessions and both the sessions are streamer. There is no viewer part of it. And 104, it's only a viewer, and 103 is only a streamer. So with the given data, only 101 is the user who started as a viewer and then he got 2 sessions as a streamer. So the output has to be user ID as 101, the streamer session is 2. So 101, 2 should be the result. Okay. Let's start with the basic SQL. First we create the table. Okay. And we comment it out. Now let's start with the basic SQL. So what we have to do first? First we have to find all the users first session. Okay, the time of the first session, and then see if that session is having the session type as viewer. Okay, so get all those users, and then for that user we can see how many streamer sessions that user has. Okay, so to start with, we just say select from sessions. So what you have to select? We have to select the user ID and their session, so minimum of session start. So minimum of session start is the first session, right? So if you run this, you get the error. So it's user ID minimum of session start from sessions. What is that error? Oh, group by. Okay, since it's a aggregation, we just say group by 1. Okay, so now you can see we have all the users and what is their first session. So we are going to use that as a basic CTE table. First session as, you can just keep it like this. So for the user we have the minimum session, the first session. So we are going to use that to get the session whose session type is as a viewer. Okay, so from sessions, yes, inner join for CTE table f on f dot user ID equal to s dot user ID and the first session, right? F dot session start equal to s dot session start. So the first session for that user has to be session type equal to viewer, yes. So we have to find those user ID. Okay, from the session table, which combines with the CTE table, which has the first session, and the first session has to be a viewer. Let's see who are all the users comes out. We have a column user ID in field is ambiguous. That means we missed the alias name. Okay, you just say yes dot. Okay, so user 101 and 104 has the first session as viewer. So till now it's right. So we use this table as our second reference. Okay, so what's the name we can give? Started viewers, started as viewers. So we get these users. So we have started viewers as V. So this second CTE table has users who only have the first session as viewers, right? So get those users and then you join with the main table on s dot user ID equal to v dot user ID and no condition. We just say we get the user ID and then here we have to do some correction. Let's start with this session ID as session count from this user ID group by 1. We can just say descending order by 2 descending and then user also descending. So we get the user ID. Again syntax error, user ID is ambiguous. See, you are missing the alias name. So yes, so we can just say v dot user ID. Okay, so here if you see 101 we got 3, 104 we got 1. That means we are getting all the session types, viewer, streamer, with 104 has only viewer, right? So it came out. But what we have to find is all the users whose first session is viewer, but the count of session has to be as a streamer. So we don't consider the viewer session. So what we do, we just say case when s dot session type equal to streamer, streamer, then session ID. So what we are doing, we are getting the session ID only if the session type is a streamer. If it's a viewer, we don't consider that, right? Now you see 104 got 0 and this one got 1. So here what we are going to do is we are just having a filter. So we have group by and then saying having count of distinct s dot session type equal to 2. So what this filter will do, it will eliminate 104 because 104 has only one session type, which is a viewer. But we need a user who is supposed to be a viewer and became a streamer. So this filter will eliminate the 104 kind of records which has only viewer. Now if you see, we got only 101 who got 2 sessions, right? So what is the key thing? We use the first session here and with that data we find all the users who got the first session as viewer. In that we get 2, 101 and 104. 104 has only viewer session, it don't have streamer. How to filter out that? We just have a group by and a having condition which says every user must have 2 types of sessions, viewer and streamer. In that way we filter out 104. And when you count, we simply can't say the session ID because that will consider viewers with session with viewer ID, sorry, viewer type and then streamer type. So we just have a filter saying that session type is streamer, then only consider the session, right? So when you start with, we don't have any idea how to approach, but when you understand and break down the requirement, then it's very simple. First you find the first session, and then the first session must be a viewer, and get the users count of session and filter out the types. Simple, right? So the main key is just understand the question properly. Now we have two CTE tables and then a main SQL to get that answer. So how we replace this with a Windows function? Windows function, we can just comment this out. Okay. So for Windows function, what we can do to get the rank, so we first get the minimum of the part, right? So we are going to use the same. Instead of min, what we are going to do is we just say rank over partition by user ID, order by user ID and session start as rnum. So here we can get the session type, that will be helpful from the sessions table. Here what we do, you get all the user ID and their session type, and we give a row number based on the session start date. When you run this, you get 101, viewer as the first, and then 2 and 3. And for user 2, we have 1 and 2, which is only streamer. User 3, only 1 as streamer. User 4, only 1 as viewer. So this will clearly bring all the viewers, their session type and their order of session. Okay, we use this as a first session as this. What you are going to do, select from the first session F, where the user ID in, you say select user ID from first session where rnum equal to 1 and session type equal to viewer, right? So what we are trying here, we are first getting all the users, their session, and we are giving a sequence number based on the session start time, and then we are getting from that data, we get the user IDs whose first session row num equal to 1, right, is a viewer. Get all that user, and then we just get from that user, we say the session type equal to streamer, and we get f dot user ID count. I don't like the star, but we just put it session count. From this, where the session type is streamer, group by 1, order by 2 descending, 1 descending. Okay, let's run it. So we get the same answer. The initially what we do, we use a session table in first CTE table, and then the second CTE table, and then the third CTE table. We use the same table 3 times here, right? We use 3 times to get the answer, but here we use only once. We use the user ID, session type, and then we are doing a sequence and using that data we are filtering out where the user ID present in the user set, where the row number is first and the session type is view. In that condition we get all the users who started as viewer, and then all the session types as streamer we are getting the count. So in that way this condition, having condition, is completed at this point. The best part is we use the session table only once and we get only the 2 columns, and we are not using any other columns going forward. So this is the best way of utilizing the table performance. It's much easier than the initial version, right? Okay. Hope you like this video and thanks for watching.